on YouTube. Can you hear me clearly and see me clearly? And right as I start the stream, the damn ice cream truck shows up and starts blaring that right. God, man. It kind of reminds me of that old Eddie Murphy Delirious video. If you haven't seen that, that was like from like the 80s. Mom, the ice cream man is coming! The ice cream man is coming! Want a lick? Psych! Who remembers that? Eddie Murphy, Delirious. That's like one of the absolute best comedy shows ever in the history. There will never be anything like that again. The Queen is here. Hey, Queen, the real Queen. You're good. Thank you, Queen. Can see and hear you fine on my end. Says Mutt. Lewis Fuller's in the house. How's everybody doing today? Excellent. Excellent. We have an interesting topic here today, but we're just going to wait a little bit longer for some more people to get the notification. I got two shows for you folks today. I've already created the second show, but I have it on private because I don't want to confuse people between these two shows. I will be going live at approximately 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific from the studio with another great topic. Love like you've never been hurt and unrealistic expectations in 2021. I saw a video on YouTube today where this guy was interviewing men and women about the modern world and has social media, dating sites, dating apps, and smartphones, have they affected us in ways where we have unrealistic expectations? I'd have to say absolutely. I'd have to say more so women have more unrealistic expectations than men. I'll just give you a little clue about what I'll be discussing tonight, because women are emotional beings, right? And I think to a certain extent, women have always been the same. The difference in the modern world is that they're not dependent on men for survival. So now they're acting the way that they've always wanted to act, right? I guess you can kind of say, like some guys have said, well, liberating women has unleashed women. And when when women were not liberated, they were more tame. They've always been the same, but they were more tame because they had no choice. If not, then they wouldn't have survived because they needed a man for survival. Now, women are emotional beings more so than men. No disrespect, it's just the way they are. But that's what we're dealing with nowadays. We're dealing with liberated women that don't need men for survival, that are behaving in the ways they've always wanted to behave, and they can get away with it because they provide for themselves, right? Oh, man. Oh, man. Hey, Mr. Wondering Haggis, how you doing? Yeah, Mr. Wondering Haggis, Lewis did give me your Gmail. I did send you a Hangouts invite, Lewis, Mr. Wondering Haggis, I mean. So go on your Hangouts app on your phone or go to hangouts.google.com from your desktop, logged into that same account, and go to the invite section. And when you accept my invite, Mr. Wondering Haggis, I will add you to the private A Grip on Life Coach Eli moderator group behind the scenes so you can keep in touch with us. That's the best way of communicating with me regularly. I still need to connect with you on Facebook and other aspects, but Hangouts chat is the best way to reach me. If you want to reach me the fastest, that's the way to reach me. Even faster than Facebook Messenger. It's on the same platform, for Christ's sake. That's why I like Google Hangouts chat, because it's the same account as your YouTube channel or your YouTube account, right? Whether you have a channel or you're a consumer of content. So, anyway, how are y'all doing? We're just going to wait another minute or so before we get right to this topic, which is going to be It's going to be pretty interesting. Today I have a couple of very interesting topics that are going to make a lot of sense. And as always, will help you get a better grip on your lives if you just apply these principles. All you have to do is apply the principles, right? And these are principles that most of you already know. The difference is you have nobody to hold you accountable, right? And I'm not saying I want to hold you accountable. I can if you'd like me to. But when you hear these principles from a trusted third party that's experienced all of these things, you're more prone to say, yeah. Eli shared his story regarding this situation. I feel the same way. And I used to handle it this way, and it didn't work, just like that way didn't work for Eli. And Eli shared his story on what he did to turn it around, so maybe I'll try that, and it may just work for me. Listen, folks, I'm not here, trying to sell you a pipe dream. I'm here to speak the truth. I'm here to state facts. I'm here to teach life's principles that should already be known. But in the modern world, because we're raised differently, and especially nowadays, having these smartphones attached to our hips, we're so overly consumed with information. And, we live in such an unrealistic world with unrealistic expectations. Again, a topic I'll be discussing on my stream tonight. That, we just lose focus sometimes, right? All I'm here to do is to help bring more clarity to your life so you can focus on moving yourself forward instead of backwards, right? Oh, man. My pinched nerve is still affecting me a little bit. I may have to go and see my doctor again in a week or so. It's almost healed. I can feel it, but it's just lingering on. So that's why sometimes you may see me walking a little funny. It's not that I'm not going to say what other people have said about me. They're just trying to get my attention. But it's not that I'm broken. I had a herniated disc. And for the most part, it's healed. I can do my walking streams and go hiking and do all that. It's just not 100% yet. So the nerve is still a little bit pinched. So it's still affecting me from, walking 100% normally. But I'm about 95% normal. Let me see. Lewis helped me out with that. I don't know how to work out Hangouts. Pretty simple. Walking stream, awesome sauce. What's going on, Roy boy? Are you from the past? Let me see here. Muttnuts Crazy World says, I'm so proud of myself. I have planned 3 lives for the week and just made a new channel lineup video that I will use as a new channel trailer. Mutt, did you actually change your mind? I thought you were going to take a week or 2 off from streaming, but you changed your mind, huh? Socializing with Sonia. Good afternoon, everyone. How's it going, socializing with Sonia? I've never seen you here before. How did you find out about the channel? Nuna, how you doing? I've been looking for love in all the wrong places. I would never hook up with anyone on social media, and I didn't create my divorce. Well, you're going to want to tune in tonight and hear what I have to say. And I'm also going to share later on today on my community wall on YouTube that video that inspired me to do this topic. It's about a 20-minute video where this, like I said earlier when I started the stream. Oh man, I'm going to have to go around the other way because there are people right in my path. Where this guy went out on the streets, I'm not sure where he was at, somewhere, it seemed like somewhere in the U.S., and he was asking men and women, questions about the modern world and do people have unrealistic expectations in the modern world, both men and women. It was just very interesting what was shared in the responses by both men and women that were interviewed on that clip. So, and I've been encountering this a lot lately with most women I talk to. I'm just a normal, decent, down-to-earth guy. And I'm a man. I'm a real man. I'm not a beta male, right? But more and more women that I encounter just being normal, being me. Like threatens them or something, right? That woman I talked to last night on the phone, she ended up not being who I thought she was. She said she wanted an old-fashioned, old-school man, but she kept on trying to exude masculine energy on our call. And it was funny, our regularly scheduled time regarding the call was changed because she was on a business call on a Saturday night. And then we talked for like 35 minutes. And then she had to cut our call short because she said she had another urgent business call at like 9 or 10 o'clock in the evening on a Saturday. Come on, ma'am, don't BS me. The truth of the matter is that you're an alpha female that wants to wear the pants and you want to be the leader in the relationship. That's not going to work for me. It's not even about being the leader. It's about 50-50. It's about a man being a man and a woman being a woman. The more and more I talk to more women, because I'm an alpha male and I am not going to be put beneath by any woman what I was naturally made to be. I'm a man. More and more women are thrown off by me because they're used to beta males sucking up to them and being more feminized men, which has gotten these women used to being masculine men. Masculine women. It doesn't work for me. I'm not going to be with a woman that wants to act like a man. I'm not. It's one thing to have equal rights, and that's all fine and dandy, but I'm not going to allow you to be the man in the relationship because you're not a man. You're a woman. I'm a man. For Christ's sake. I'm a man. I have the penis. Right? I have two other women I'm supposed to talk with tonight, right? Before I get to the topic here, let me share this. I'll share more about this tonight. I was exchanging messages on Match.com with this woman. She's 51 years old, a few years older than me. She's cute. She got back to me. She said she liked my profile. She goes, you're cute too, right? She told me that, right? So there's a physical attraction, and she liked my profile. So far, so good, right? But I shit test women. Even when I start to take things from the Match.com messenger to text messaging, a few text messages to set up the phone call, right? I don't want to invest any time on a phone call with any woman that's not going to behave like a woman on that call, right? So we arranged a time to talk, and I told her, I responded, I was shit testing her, I responded, I said, great, I look forward to talking with you at this time tonight. You seem like a sweet lady. Enjoy your day for now and talk with you soon. She gets back to me and says, well, I don't know if I would consider myself or to be a sweet lady. And I responded to her. This was a couple hours ago. I responded to her and I said, I was playing with her. I was saying, you seem like a sweet lady, LOL, right? And she goes, I don't know if I would consider myself to be a sweet lady. And I got back to her and I said, well, are you at least a nice lady, LOL? And that was a few hours ago. She hasn't responded to me yet. If you as a woman can't respond to me saying, well, at least are you not a nice lady? Are you at least a nice lady, I mean? If she doesn't respond to me and say, yes, I'm a nice lady, I'm not going to call her tonight. Why? Because I'm already figuring out that she's trying to wear the pants. She's already sensing that I'm asserting the fact that I'm a man. And I am a man. And if she can't allow me to be a man, and if she can't be a woman, then I'm sorry. It's not even worth a phone call. I want to teach you guys and gals out there to become as intuitive and instinctual as myself, to ask the right questions, even through text messaging, to test these women to see if they're a good, sweet, loving type of woman that's more submissive than dominant. Nothing wrong with a woman being dominant at times, nothing wrong with a woman working. But if she wants to be dominant more than submissive, I'm sorry, it's not going to work for me. I am a man. You're a woman. What part of that don't you understand? What part of that don't you understand? And if you beta stop behaving beta, women would not behave this way. Women are confused, like I mentioned in that video the other day. Women are confused by what they really want. They think they want betas. They think the betas are the alphas and the alphas are the betas, right? I already can tell that this woman is trying to assert dominance in our connection. It's not going to work for me. I'm the man. I'm the dominant one. But I'm going to be fair with you and treat you well if you treat me well. You treat me like a man, I'll treat you like a woman. I'll be good to you, but I'm not going to let you treat me like a woman and wear the pants, ma'am. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. LOL, Eli. Frankly, the stoner just wants some non-loser friends. 50-50 is the way it should be, says Nunya. The unknown got banned, says Queen. Hey, at Mr. Wondering Haggis says Muttnuts World. The realest YouTuber. I'm not going to respond to certain text messages because I'm not giving people notoriety from the past. You folks can chat in the chat. I'm just going to choose who I respond to and who I don't. Yeah, I wouldn't delete the realist I wouldn't ban the realist YouTuber, but if you have to delete a message, Queen, that's fine. Yeah, that's the thing. If she doesn't get back to me and answer my question, but you are a nice woman, right? LOL. Ma'am, I'm not attacking you. I want to date a nice woman. Don't you want to date a good, nice guy? She hasn't responded to me. And if she doesn't, she's not getting a call tonight or ever again. If she doesn't respond to that, she'll probably say, hey, Eli. She'll call me around our scheduled call time and say, hey, Eli, you haven't called me. You still want to talk? Well, I never heard you answer my last question, so I figured you changed your mind. I'm going to play stupid, but I know the truth. She doesn't want to answer that question because if she comes out and says that I'm a nice woman, she thinks that I'm going to be a man that's going to take advantage of that. No, ma'am. I just want a nice woman. I want a real woman. I don't want a woman that's trying to behave like a man. I don't. I want to date and fall in love with and grow old with a woman that's feminine, not masculine. This is a huge problem, folks. I'm seeing this with every single woman I encounter, almost, not all, but I'd say about 95% of the women that I've encountered, online or offline, are trying to assert masculine energy. They're trying to assert that I'm a liberated woman. They're trying to, and if a strong man like me that's a real man comes around, they get thrown off by that. They think I'm trying to attack them. This is where we're at right now. It's preposterous. It's ridiculous. But anyway, let's get to the topic here of this stream. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Walking with Purpose live edition. This is episode number 108. And today we're going to be discussing prioritizing your life. in order of importance. One more time. Prioritizing your life in order of importance. Let me just pass on by. There are some people having a picnic over here. So I'm just going to go around them. It is Sunday, folks. The park is typically busiest on weekends, especially Sundays. Oh, by the way, also happy Easter to all of you out there today that celebrate Easter. It's American Easter or Catholic Easter. I'm Greek Orthodox, so my Easter is not for another month, but happy Easter to those that celebrate it today. Hope you'll be spending some time, if you already haven't, with your friends, family, and loved ones. And yeah, that's that. It's all good. So let's talk about prioritizing your life in order of importance. I'm going to put it out there in the chat. And I'm going to ask the chat, each one of you, to let me know, what do you think is the number one thing you should be prioritizing in your life every day over anything else? What is the number one thing you should be prioritizing in your life over anything else? Because in my opinion, nothing else matters without this. You won't have anything without this. Let's see if you folks can figure that out. Let's see how many of you are paying attention. Let's see how many of you actually care, right? I like alpha men. I've had a few cheaters, liars, fake abuse men, and it's hard finding a man that is equal to us expectations and his to yours. Much respect, Coach. Well, thank you, Nuna. Nuna, that's because 97% of the men in this world are beta males. Another great coach I follow is Coach Corey Wayne. He wrote a book called How to Be a 3% Man. And that's exactly what I want to help men become, and I want to help women understand this as well, right? When you have 97% of the men in this world that don't have a freaking clue what masculinity is, right? And they're beta male conformists, right? It throws women off. Now, some women like you can understand the difference between an alpha and a beta, but there are a lot of women out there that are really nice women, and they're confused, thinking that the beta males are the alphas, right? So what happens, like I mentioned before, these women will date the betas, right? Because they're nice guys. They're conformists, right? Right? And when women assert their powerful new rights on them, including wanting to wear the pants, these guys will conform to that, right? But what happens 2, 3, or 4, or 5, or 6 months into that relationship for that woman with that beta male? She starts to wonder, something doesn't feel right here. I mean, he's a nice guy, he's good looking, the sex is okay, but it's not really exciting, right? He's kind of boring. I'm just not feeling that spark. Well, ma'am, that's because you're behaving like a man and he's behaving like a woman. Because in the relationship, the sexual polarity has to be there. One side has to be the masculine one, and the other side has to be the feminine one. And when you, as the woman, is exuding more masculine energy and the man's exuding more feminine energy than masculine energy, it flips the sexual polarity. Now, it may work temporarily because that's what you women think you want. You women think you want the betas because they're really nice guys. But then you get into a relationship with them, it never works. That's why you see a lot of women nowadays in their 40s, single, never been married, no kids, right? Because they haven't figured that out yet, right? I encounter these women all the time because I'm 47. It's ridiculous, right? When 97% of the men are beta males, what do you expect? That's why it's hard for a man like me to find a woman that respects me and I respect her. Right? Like any woman that ends up with me will be treated well. I've treated all my women with respect and love and consideration and kindness. But most women aren't like you, Nuna. They don't understand. what a real man is. They think the betas are the real men, and they think the alpha males are the jerks, right? Now, some of the alpha males are players, but I'm talking about the real good guys that are also alphas. So let me see here. So, folks, let me know in the chat, what do you feel is the number one priority you should focus on over anything else before anything else can even happen, before anything else even matters, right? Let me know when I get this corner over here. I will stop and look at the chat. It's a little chilly today. I only have one layer underneath. I'm not extremely cold right now, but I'm not as warm as I'd like to be. I'm sure after another lap or so, I'll be warmed up. Let me see. I'm a Christian of Church of Scotland, says Mr. Wing Haggis. Queen says, me, myself, and I. Okay, more specific, Queen, more specific. The realist YouTuber, is it your health coach? Absolutely. That's it. I prioritize my life first as Nuna. Still here listening and working my little fingers off, typing up some stuff, says Button, it's crazy world, Mr. Wondering Haggis. I'm looking for a woman who can be my lover and a mother to look after me. Women have the trousers in my house, and I would wear the skirt. Bro, that's the complete opposite of what you should be looking for, bro. Bro, what you just described there is a beta male. Mr. Wondering Haggis, are you a beta? No disrespect, I love you, dude. Are you just messing with me, dude, or are you seriously saying that you want to be a beta male? That's exactly what you just described in the chat. I think a man and a woman should take care of each other in the modern world. And I think the man should wear the trousers and the woman should still wear the skirt. Now, if the woman needs to wear trousers every now and then, that's fine. But if a woman wears the trousers more than the man, it's never going to work out for the man or the woman. Women think they want to wear the pants. If you let them wear the pants, it's gonna end up destructive within a year or less. Women are attracted to a man's strength, physically, mentally, and emotionally, right? And they are repelled by the weakness of a man. They're always testing your strength, Mr. Wondering Haggis, to see how masculine you are. They're looking to see how masculine you are. And if you succumb to them, with wearing a skirt, which I hope you're joking, dude. Please tell me you're joking. Then that's never going to get you anywhere, bro. That's going to get you in the friend zone. She's going to cheat on you. She's going to lose respect for you and fall out of love with you and then leave you. Is that what you want? No, I have learning disabilities, so I would need someone who could be a carer to me. Well, dude, just because you have learning disabilities doesn't mean you can't be a man, bro. You're still a man, Mr. Wondering Haggis. Mr. Wondering Haggis, I'm going to help you free of charge. You're a mod. I'm going to help you behind the scenes with Lewis Fuller. And I'm going to help you get what you want, bro. Bro, just because you have learning disabilities doesn't mean you're not a man, dude. Last time you checked, bro, you still have a penis, right? I mean, no pun intended. I'm just saying, bro, you do have that, right? And if you do have that body part, that makes you a man, dude, right? You should be proud. You should be proud to have that body part, bro, because that's what defines you. You're a man, dude. There's no need to go the beta way just because you have a learning disability, bro. There's nothing wrong with you, bro. That happens to some people, dude. You're a good guy. You deserve the best, bro. I'm going to help you, bro, free of charge. Mr. Haggis, Queen is laughing because Queen knows that you're behaving like a beta male. Queen is basically calling you a beta male without... She's being nice to you, Haggis. Queen Helen Casey is being very nice and respectful to you and not calling you a beta. But she's laughing at you hysterically because she knows... Queen, tell me you know what I'm talking about. She was laughing at the fact that you came out publicly, Haggis, and said that you want to wear the skirt as a man in the relationship, bro. I never wear no damn skirt, dude. Whoa, what? Man, I should retire right now. Queen says yes. um, Muttonut's Crazy World says, okay. Nuna says, it wasn't even like that. I thought I loved the person, but then I learned the hard way the beta men, in my opinion, are very needy. Not only are they very needy, they're very insecure, right? Women are naturally going to be insecure most, if not all the time, to some level, right? That's because women are emotional beings. They respond to everything emotionally based on how they're feeling in the present moment. Nuna, it's normal, right? Men think logically first, and then we may shed some emotion. Women think emotionally first, then they reason with logic, right? So what good is an insecure man going to do to women that are naturally and normally supposed to be a little more insecure than men, right? You need that man's strength to balance out your insecurities, right? So if you have an insecure man, and like I said, most if not all women have some level of insecurities all the time normally, how's that going to work for you? It's not going to do anything for you, right? Women are not attracted to betamons. They're not attracted to betamons, right? I keep saying that. Women think they want the betamon, right? Because of the conformists. They're going to make things real simple, right? They're not going to challenge the woman in any way, right? But what happens down the road? Listen to what Nina said. It didn't work for her. Men that are weak, emotionally, weak, needy, desperate, and insecure, that right there is your destruction with women. Beta man. Worse than the beta man. Beta man. Let me see here. We all have a disability, but we are still human, says Nuna. Yep. Queen says yes to the earlier thing about the skirt with Haggis. Muttonut's Crazy World. I'm Mr. Wondering Haggis. I have learned disabilities as well as multi-personality disorder. I learned how to not depend on a guy to take care of me because of that. But you still allow a guy to be a guy in the relationship, right, Mutt? You allow the man to be the man, you're the woman, right? Mutt, you're not trying to act like a man in your relationships, right, Mutt? Life is Great says, my sister was with a beta, and he would jump as soon as he heard his name, like a lost puppy dog. Well, that's not going to last. Mr. Wondering Haggis, but men do wear kilts in Scotland. Well, that's normal there, bro. That's not feminine. Now, if you wear a kilt here in the U.S., that's a different story. Listen, bro, that's a cultural thing. Sorry, that's a cultural thing, which is what I'm trying to say, right? But here in the U.S., you wear a kilt, bro, and that's not going to work. And like I said, in your culture, you know, in your country, bro, that's like normal, dude. But in the U.S., that's not normal. Now, a kilt is different than a dress, bro. It's different, right? But I get what you're saying. But here in the U.S., you wear a kilt, and most guys and gals are going to look at it as a feminine dress. It's just our cultural differences, brother. That's all it is. That's all it is. Right Boy says it's hard to change it on a societal level because an entire generation of men have been brought up to be submissive, to be equal, like everything is negotiable, even who does the breastfeeding. Well, this is the thing, Roy. You and I both know that biologically only women can breastfeed kids because that's how they were biologically made to be, right? Biologically, when it comes to childbirth and all that stuff, that has not changed. It'll never change, right? And again, I don't think, like I've been saying all along, I don't think feminism alone is the cause of what's happening. I mean, yes, it gave women equal rights. Women are no longer dependent on men for anything. So it makes it easier for women to do whatever they want nowadays, right? But if all these beta males learned how to be real men, what would happen? Women would not behave this way because if all men shut out all women, women would have to change to get us back, right? Right now, women have the power. Women have the power for one reason, right? They have the power because 97% of the men in this world are beta males and they're conformists and they suck up to these women. And women can get whatever they want because these guys are giving it to them, right? That's the problem, dude. It has nothing to do with women getting equal rights. It has to do with the betamons out there, right? And that's why guys like me, when I come around, I'm different than any guy these women have been around because I'm not a betamon, right? And most women, that turns them off. And it makes them think there's something wrong with me. No, ma'am. I'm a real man. And you've been conformed to be attracted to betamons. Oh, look, we got some duckies there. I don't know if you could see that. I don't know if the angle of my phone is getting that. Queen, can you see that? This is a creek right by Red Morton Park. Can you see those duckies right there? Let me see here. Give me a second here. It didn't last, Coach. She ran like a dog and then tossed him because he was weak. Right. She was turned on by him. Queen sees the ducks. So, the number one priority in your life, in order of importance, is your health. When people out there were saying in the chat earlier, me, myself, I hope you were referring to your health. It specifically has to do with your health. Without your health, you have nothing else, right? If you're not alive, you can't do anything, right? So, to stay healthy, you got to take care of yourself. You have to eat right, have a sensible diet, exercise regularly like I do, especially when you get older, right? When you get older, you're going to start having complications like herniated discs and stuff like I have had, right? And if you're in better shape and you eat more healthy and you take care of yourself, you're going to have a better chance of recovering from something that comes up like that. So your health includes, staying healthy and fit, eating right, going to your doctors regularly, getting your annual checkups. In the modern world, with this COVID-19 thing, getting vaccinated. I know many of you don't believe in that. That's on you. I'm not going to sit here and try to convince you folks you should get vaccinated. But I honestly think everyone should get vaccinated. Everyone should get vaccinated. It is that important in my opinion. Now I know others, even here on my channel, have a difference of opinion in that, and that's totally fine. And I'm not going to tell you folks how to live your lives. I'm never going to tell anybody what to do. I more so help people get what they want. There are a lot of people at the park today. There's like a fiesta happening like over here. And so, oh man. It's all good. Let me just pass on by. And it's not even the nicest day out here. I mean, it's probably about 55 degrees or so, something like that. The sun is out, but it's a little bit chilly. It's kind of like partly cloudy. We may even get some rain later on today. So yeah, your health is the most important thing. Now let me ask you folks this. What is the next most important thing? Number two, what is the next most important, or should be the next most important priority of your life? Let me know what you think. Let's see here. I don't know if that's the real GLM or not. I can't get any messages on my phone from Hangouts, GLM, so I don't know if that's the real you or if that's a sock account. GLM, that's the real you. Can you please come in on your Gargamel account and verify that? If not, we're going to be banning this account within 2 or 3 minutes because I don't want any trolls in here. I didn't let it happen, says Nuna. I left. I was insecure at first, but I got brave and escaped peacefully. Well, Nuna, being feminine is part of being feminine is having insecurities naturally, biologically, as a woman. Now, there's a difference between being insecure and being extremely insecure, right? All women, and even men, have insecurities to a certain extent, right? Women, at a normal, natural, biological level, in my opinion, are going to be a little bit more naturally and normally more insecure than men, right? But then there's a point of where both men and women become extremely insecure at a very unhealthy level, right? I think what you were saying is that you were experiencing insecurities at a very unhealthy level because you were with a very insecure man. You didn't feel safe with him. You didn't feel comfortable with him. You didn't feel like you could trust his masculine core. You didn't feel like he could protect you if you got into danger, right? He was probably maybe somewhat abusive. Maybe he was somewhat dismissive. Maybe he neglected you. And that's why you probably felt that way, right? Because when people are together for a while, they get emotionally attached. And even if they see something wrong, it's hard to step away because of that emotional attachment, right? That's what happens. That's exactly what happens, right? But then you finally realize it and you're like, I got to get out. If I don't get out, I'm not going to enjoy the rest of my life. Or something worse may happen, right? You get out, start removing the emotional attachment, heal up, and in time, you'll be back to normal, and you'll find someone better, right? You're so right, Coach. Thank you, Nuna. I appreciate that. No, sir, I am no troll, promise. All right. You can come back in that different account, GLM. I just wanted to make sure it was you. Let's see. Muttnut's Crazy World says, I'm not getting it due to my health problems. Don't trust that it's safe. Why don't you go see your doctor, Mutt, and ask them if they feel it's safe enough for you to take it? Mutt, seriously. If you do get COVID, Mutt, with your underlying issues, that could make your situation worse than getting the vaccine. That's just my opinion, Mutt. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying I would ask your doctor what your best options are if you already haven't. Maybe you have. God is number one, most important. Well, I think that goes without saying, GLM, automatically for all people that believe in God. I'm talking outside of God because God wants us to live our own lives, right? God's just watching over us, right? But besides, let me be clear. Besides God, the number one most important priority is going to be your health. What's the number two most important priority, folks? What do you think the number two most important priority is? Let me know. Put it in the chat. I'll tell you folks, it should be pretty simple. It should be pretty simple. What is the number 2 priority that everyone should have? Both men and women, everyone. No, sir, God doesn't want us to live our own life. He wants us to be servants to him. Well, that's kind of old school GLM. There was that song called God is Watching Us from a Distance. I forget. Was that Bette Midler? I can't remember who sang that song. God is Watching Us from a Distance. There's also another song by Garth Brooks back in the late 80s, early 90s. It was called Unanswered Prayers. Sometimes I thank God for unanswered prayers. Remember when you're talking to the man upstairs, and just because he may not answer doesn't mean he don't care. Some of God's greatest gifts are unanswered prayers. I did not understand the meaning of that song when it first came out. I was like in my late teens, early 20s, right? I look back now. I remember all the times where things didn't work out with a woman or something didn't go my way, and I started blaming God for it. And I would say the God damn it word, right? I was getting mad at God, right? But let me tell you something. God was right every time. Because God was actually paying attention and was helping me with his unanswered prayers. Some of God's greatest gifts are all too often unanswered prayers, like Garth Brooks would say. That was a great album. Same album that had I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away, and I'll be okay. I'm not big on social graces. Think I'll slip on down to the Oasis, 'cause I got friends in low places, right? Then he had another song. Yeah, we're two of a kind, working on a full house. Remember that song? To you folks in the South and the Midwest, you big country fans. If she's my lady luck, hey, I'm her wild card man. Together we're building up a real strong hand. We live out in the country, and she's my little queen of the South. We don't have women like that here in California, let me tell you. We have feminists. Radical feminists, that's what we have. Are they kind of looking for my queen of the South? Garth? Where are they? They don't exist anymore, brother. If she's my lady luck, hey, I'm her wild card man. Together we're building up a real strong hand. We live out in the country, and she's my little queen of the South. Yeah, we're two of a kind, working on a full house. Well, Garth, I get what you mean by two of a kind, but men and women are biologically different. Together, we bring value to each other. We can uplift each other and be supportive to each other, right? That's the purpose, right? She wakes up every morning with a smile and a kiss. Her strong country loving is hard to resist. She's my easy loving woman. I'm her hard working man, no doubt. That's the way it should be. If you listen to the lyrics of those songs, back in those days, she wakes me every morning with a smile and a kiss. That's all us guys want. Keep our stomachs full and our balls empty. Like they said last night, right? Somebody said that last night. Nowadays, when your woman wakes up, she's whining and complaining. Like a you-know-what, I won't say it. Whatever happened if she wakes me every morning with a smile and a kiss? Her strong country loving is hard to resist. She's my easy loving woman. Nothing easy about it anymore. I'm her hard-working man, no doubt, right? Yeah, we're two of a kind, working on a full house. And then furthermore, the song goes, her pickup truck is her limousine, and her favorite dress is her favorite blue jeans. She loves me tender when the going gets tough. Sometimes we fight just so we can make up, right? That's beautiful, right? I can remember the days when I was with my ex, Dana, right? We didn't really fight hardly ever. I mean, every so often, we would have a spat, right? That happens, right? But I knew how to handle it, right? And when your woman comes at you, right, and you're a strong man and you handle it maturely and professionally and confidently and like a man, right? You give her space, right? Give her space. Hey, babe, I'm going to walk away. If you want to talk, let me know. I'll give you space to process what you're going through emotionally, right? Right? And then you start walking away and then they chase you down. Remember, as a guy, you never chase. Women, if they're not chasing you, it's not going to work ever. Women should always be the one chasing men. Men, you don't chase shit at all. Folks, I'm going to do one more lap after this. So if you have any questions, get them in now. We got about another 20, 25 minutes or so before we wrap this up. Nunez says, I love Garth Brooks and Charlie Daniels. Simple man. Yeah, great. Yeah, you're probably around my same age, right, Nuna? You're like in your 40s. I'm not trying to get too personal. I think you may have answered it the last time, but I forgot. Men and women are yin and yang. Yep. I was born and raised on country music, says Mutt. I am not fond of country music, says Queen. Muttnut says, I love his calling Baton Rouge. Yeah, that's a good one too. Okay, yeah. Life is great. The betas happen, says Coach. Says life is great. The betas happen, Coach, is what he says. Sorry. I agree at one night, man. Yep. All you need is love, says One Night Man. Wasn't that the Beatles? At Nunya AK, New Girl in Town, do you also like Neek the Sneak or E40? Yeah, E40's from the Bay Area. You know that, GLM. I only chase a guy to a certain point, and if it's not working, I move on. Mutt, here's the thing. Mutt. Women have to continuously chase men. It doesn't mean you have to run after them all the time. It means this is the way it's supposed to be, right? This is how it was with my ex, Dana. Initially, the man has to do most of the pursuing because he has to show interest, right? But once the woman shows interest, you back off and you let her come to you, right? If a woman's interested in you, she's going to want to talk to you all the time, right? Right? So my ex, Dana, would text me every morning. Good morning, babe, right? Right? And I'd say good morning like an hour later, right? Right? And then we would talk that night. If we would see each other on the weekends during the week, she would text me. I'd say good morning. Talk to you later tonight. Look forward to it, right? Right? Now, after a year of being together, because she knew I was doing this coaching stuff, right? And I had learned all this stuff, right? And she knew I was applying it to her, and it kind of, I wouldn't say it pissed her off, but it kind of like made her feel like she wanted me to initiate some stuff, right? I have no problem initiating, but the woman has to always initiate the first contact. Doesn't mean she has to make the plans. Typically, I'd make the plans, but she reaches out. That means she's interested, and she's still chasing you. If a woman's calling you, she's not dumping you, right? Or if she's texting you, she's not dumping you, right? If you're the one initiating all the texting, you're going to start seeing fewer and fewer responses because it has to be her idea. For a relationship to work, it has to be the woman's idea, right? They're emotional beings. It's the truth, right? But a year into it, Dana was talking with me when we were hanging out one weekend, and she goes, how come you never initiate the good morning text in the morning? I said, come again, babe? And I knew exactly where she was going with it. She knew I knew, right? That's what she was asking. She's like, how come you don't initiate and say good morning to me before I say good morning? Why, babe? Because I like the way things are going. Like, I respect you as a woman. It makes me feel good as a man that you're showing interest. I was honest with her. I'm like, look, why fix what's broken, right? I said, listen, I'm happy being with you. I enjoy your company. I enjoy everything. I think you know that, right? And listen, I don't want to overdo it and have you get turned off. She goes, that wouldn't turn me off. I said, then you're like one in a billion women, Dana, because you must be the most amazing woman on the planet. I'm not trying to push you on a pedestal, but that's not how women are. She goes, well, I am different. I really would appreciate it if at least every once in a while you could say good morning to me, first. It'd make me feel special. I said, okay. I'm like, how often do you want me to do that? I don't know, a couple times a week, 2-3 times. Babe, that's what you think you want. That's what you think. Okay, how about once per week? I'm like, okay. Once per week, I'll initiate this. Women are emotional beings, right? And at the same time, they're also testing your strength as a man, right? To see if you're going to stand up for what you believe in or conform to what they think you should be, right? They're testing your strength all the freaking time, all day, every day, right? Listen, I'd have no problem texting her good morning first, right? But I just know that gets overwhelming for women, whether they think it does or doesn't. When it happens, it overwhelms them, right? And you have to also understand, guys, again, with women, it's not about what they say they want, it's what they respond to. There's a difference between what women say they want and what they respond to. Two totally different sides of the coin or the spectrum. So I'm still waiting for people to say, what's the number 2 priority? We'll talk about that for my last lap here. Now, there are more priorities, but these top 2 were the main ones I wanted to cover. If I have more time, I'll go to more, but I think I'm only going to have time to go through the second one here. Also, how many of you are enjoying the show here today? You having a good time? Got to run. You have a good Easter. You too, GLM. GLM, I ask a lot of questions, and no, my real name, my real is Linda. I wish I used to be. Thank you for the compliment. I will only chase a guy to a center point, then if it's not working, I move on. So, Mutt, it's not about even overly chasing the guy. If you're dating someone, and whether you see them regularly or not, even when you don't see someone that you're dating, you should communicate a few times per day, maybe a few texts in the morning or afternoon, and a phone call before bed every night, right? Okay? The woman should be initiating the first text in the morning. Good morning, babe. How are you today? That's all you have to do. Listen, Mutt, all you have to do is say, good morning, babe. How are you, right? And then the man will take over because it's you initiating that, right? It has to be your idea. It has to be, the relationship with a man has to be the woman's idea. It doesn't matter what the man thinks because women are emotional beings. Men are logical thinkers. And yes, we do have emotions too, but we don't process things the same way as women do. So it has to be your idea as a woman for this to continue each and every day because women's emotions are in the present moment. Women respond to everything based on how they're feeling in the present moment. That's how it works. That's biology. So yeah, it's not about sucking up to your guy or kissing his ass, Mutt. It's about sending one text in the morning. Good morning, babe. How are you today? That's going to make me as a man feel, if I was the man, it'd make me feel like she's still interested, right? Now I can take over. Good, I'm doing quite well, babe. Good morning to you as well. I look forward to our call tonight, and I have a surprise for you, babe, for the weekend. And then you might come back and say, well, what's that surprise? And I'll come back and mess with you, keep you excited and interested, and say, we'll talk about that more so tonight. Oh, babe, can you give me a hint? No, babe. No, wouldn't it be a surprise then, right? That's the way it works, right? Do you see how it works, Mutt? You see, that's playful banter. Love is playful and fun, right? Love and dating is supposed to be playful and fun. There are times where you have to be serious, but for the most part, it's playful and fun. That's what it's all about. Why would you want to be with someone that's not playful and fun, right? Why? So what's the number two? What's the number two most important priority? What do you folks think it is? Great show, Elias says life is great. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Always a great show, Coach. Thank you, One Night Man. I appreciate it. Well, then what is, in your eyes, guys and gals, what is the number two priority? Number one was your health. What is the number two priority? In order of importance. At least this is what I think it is. That's the way it is for me. Number one is absolutely your health because nothing else matters without it, right? That should be an obvious one, right? Obviously, these people are simulcasting me right now because they know I'm not at my desktop, but I still have my channel managers watching things over. But we still have 19 in the box. Doesn't matter. We've grown beyond the drama sphere. One Night Man, unfortunately, we don't have the circumstances in the modern age anymore. Happiness says life is great. One Night Man, but there are rare roses. Yes, there are. Very rare nowadays, extremely rare. So far, you folks haven't guessed the number two priority I think is most important, number two. And when I say it, it'll make sense, right? This is the street. My old baseball field. I've showed this before in the past. This is Kiwanis Field. This is the view from the street. All right. I can't believe you folks are not getting the number two most important priority in order of importance. Number one is your health. I'm going to give you folks a couple more minutes till I get to the end of this street. And then I'll tell you. We'll talk about it. Nunez says, it's like a love-hate relationship. You love till you hate them. Okay, sorry. I was just venting. Wish you had a comment section. I have a question. Or can I ask you on... You can ask me on here. That's what the live streams are for. The live streams are for this. Absolutely. That's what I do here, Nuna. And by the way, did you send me a friend request on Facebook? Was that you? Let me know. I'll accept the friend request later tonight from you and Haggis and all of them. I just want to make sure that was you, Nuna. The live streams are the absolute best place to ask the questions, if you don't mind them going publicly, because everyone can learn from it, right? We can all learn from each other, right? But go ahead, please, anytime. That's why I do these shows. These are all free shows. I do these shows because if I can help other people at the same time, this is how I can help people for free, is I can bring value to this channel and answer the questions for everyone to learn by it, right? So you folks still have not figured out what the number 2 priority is. Let me just wait. Had to wait for that Hummer to drive by. I'm just going to say it. The number 2 most important priority, or like I've been saying in order of importance, is financial stability. One more time. The number 2 most important thing is financial stability. Now, you hear people say it's not all about the money, right? And I agree with that. You don't have to have a lot of money to be happy, right? But you have to have at least a certain amount to be able to survive, right? Let me tell you something what affects men. The 2 things that affect men emotionally the most, and where men lose their emotional shit the most, is number 1, if a man is not feeling or is not financially stable, that will affect his emotions. And number 2, when a woman breaks up with him that he's emotionally attached to. Those are the 2 things that affect the man's emotions more than anything. And ladies, here's a clue for you. Men that are financially stable and are confident and secure are not going to overreact emotional to just about anything. Sometimes we'll have our moments, but for the most part, we're going to be strong. That's how you can tell if a man is ready, right? In a good place for a relationship, right? But financial stability and security, in my opinion, is the number 2 most important priority in order of importance. You got to first and foremost have your health, because you can't do anything, even work to make money, if you're not healthy, right? And then number 2, you got to at least make enough money to survive depending on the area you live, right? Let me see here. Well, no, Nuna, you're right. Love is a battlefield. Was that Laura Branigan? I can't remember. No, it wasn't. It was who was Love is a Battlefield? What the hell is that woman? Somebody remind me. Who sings the song Love is a Battlefield? Yes, it was, Coach, and GLM is to be trusted. She seems nice but acts naive. Just need to know. No, GLM is just having fun. She's just semi-trolling. She lives about an hour away from where I live here in the San Francisco Bay Area. She's no harm. Circus Soccer Count says hello. Nunez says I can handle her and just needy for her to attack me because she gives me a bad vibe. No, she's just trolling. She's not really attacking you. Pat Benatar, that's right. Pat Benatar. That's right. The same chick that sings Hit Me With Your Best Shot, right? Hit me with your best shot. Fire away. Dun-dun, dun-dun, dun-dun. Yeah, I forgot that. Pat Benatar. It's been a while. Yeah, hit me with your best shot, right? Yeah, I had a brain fart. Laura Branigan. Laura Branigan sings a song, Self-Control. You take my self-control. That's another great song. I live amongst the creatures of the night. What are you trying to say, ma'am? That you're a creature of the night? Are you a special lady? I guess all women are special nowadays, right? Gloria. Okay, just checking. Thank you. No problem. No problem. So, let me ask you folks in the chat. We've got about 10 or 15 minutes before we go off the air here. I'm on my final lap. Let me ask you, how important do you feel your financial security and stability is? Whether you're a man or a woman. Women, You've been liberated. So women, you're in the same position. Single women are in the same position as single men, right? You wanted equal rights. You fought for them. You got them. You've been liberated. You're independent now, right? You don't need a man for anything, right? Except for, unless you want to have a kid, right? Then you can still go to a sperm bank, but it still takes a man to go to do his thing in a cup. But you know what I'm saying, right? So how important, ladies and gentlemen, is financial stability and security to you as a single individual, right? And how important is financial stability and security in a partner you're seeking to have a life with, right? I think it's important for both the man and the woman to bring in their own individual resources nowadays. Now, one side may have more than the other, and that may happen, right? And if you're going to, excuse me, if you're going to get married, and let's say you're a man that's going to marry a woman and you have 10 times the amount of resources than she does, you got to think twice before you make that move. And if you make that move, you may have to go a legal route. Nowadays, I'll tell you, I never believed in prenups, but nowadays, if I got married, I'd have a prenuptial agreement. I just don't trust the way women have been brainwashed. And their emotions can flip on a dime, and that can cost you everything that you've built as a man. Or if I've seen the flip side happen for women. I've dated women that were married, and they were the breadwinners. And they lost a lot when they went through divorce, right? It's not about, men being taken only. It's the breadwinner. But in 70% of the households here in the U.S. at least, the man is still the breadwinner. So 30% are women. 30% of households have women as, the breadwinner, and 70% have men. Now, listen, if we go back a little over 50 years ago, it was 100% men and 0% women. So for women to have risen up, and now in 30% of households are the breadwinners, that's pretty freaking staggering, wouldn't you say? That's staggering to me, right? And it's going to continue. It's going to continue going that way unless our betamons stop being betamons, right? Well, you did hit the nail. The music industry is full of demons, says Quinn Helen Casey. Life is great. Very important, Coach. You are right. If you aren't financially stable, it's hard to get your priorities right. Absolutely. Yep. Circus is hard to support yourself alone. Having a partner is ideal. Well, you could share. It's not just financial support. It's emotional support. It's, having somebody there to take care of you, and you take care of them if you get sick or need something, right? A relationship to me is more than just about money, but you have to have money. You have to have enough money to survive and live comfortably. If not, it's going to affect you in every way, shape, or form, right? You don't need to be rich, but you have to have enough, right? Let me just wait here for this person to pass on by. One night man, a lot of relationships have potential, but if someone on the opposite end can't come your way because their finances aren't in order, then, well, I just don't like excuses and women flaking out on me. I agree, dude. And they flake out more often than not today. I'll tell you what, if this woman, by the time I get to my car and my text messages, if she hasn't responded to me when I said, you are a nice woman though, right? LOL. If she hasn't responded to me, I'm not talking with her tonight no matter what. You can't respond to me, ma'am, and tell me that you're a nice, sweet lady. So I know I'm investing my time to talk with someone that has potential. If you're not going to say you're a nice lady, ma'am, then I'm going to assume that You're all guarded and you're all like, wanting to wear the pants or something. I don't want to deal with that. This is my shit test. I make 30K a year. A good living here is 40 to 50K. Well, that's fine, dude. You can live up at 30K in certain areas. Dude, you just have to be careful, right? And you can always make more, man. You can dabble into some online stuff, man. When you get a little spare money, you can start your own, business, man. Slowly but surely. And maybe you're living the what do you call it? The minimalist lifestyle. Some people actually like that. I wouldn't say I live a minimalist lifestyle, but I also wouldn't say I live the high life either. I'm like right in the middle. I have what I need to get by, and I don't feel the need to have special toys to feel happy, right? It's kind of like guys going out there and buying Ferraris and Lamborghinis, right? It's a cool car. They're cool cars, right? Don't get me wrong. What guy wouldn't want one, right? But the guys that actually spend the money to get one typically get it because they're insecure. And it basically makes them feel like they're more special than the average guy. It makes them feel like, okay, if the chicks see me driving around in a Lambo or a Ferrari, right? They're going to come to me. They might, but are they going to come to you for the right reason? Or because they think you have money, whether you have it or not. Some guys will, buy a car like that they can't really afford just to give up the facade like they're rich. It's a big insecurity. It's a huge insecurity. Huge. Excuse me. I should invest. If you can afford, invest whatever you can, man. Put money away in 401k. I mean, I'm not a financial advisor. But I'm just saying, start to diversify. And the younger you are, the better. You start young. I started young when I was working at Costco with a 401k. It's been rolled over many times over the decades. But you start young and you build it up, right? And here's the thing. What a lot of people don't realize is that if you go through a hard time, you can even take a hardship withdrawal, or you can borrow money from 401k or any one of those retirement plans. Now, it does come at a little bit of a penalty, a little bit more than a little bit of a penalty, but if you need to use it, it's there, right? Excuse me, sorry. I need to start carrying some liquid when I do these walks, like in my pocket. As I'm getting older, dehydrating myself on these walks, not having water, is catching up to me. I'm going to start carrying a small bottle of water for these walking streams in the future. You see, thinking about my health again, right? I'm not saying it was healthy to do it in the past. You should never be dehydrated, but I just didn't want the added weight on me on top of this 15-pound selfie stick and all the rest of the equipment, right? But I need to do it. Get your questions in, folks. We've got about maybe another 10 minutes or so before we wrap things up. I actually feel pretty good. At one night, man, that goes both ways. Nuna, yup. Good idea. Carry water with you, says Queen. Now, here's the thing, guys and gals. You don't need to be a rich person to have happiness. You don't have to be a rich man to be happy with a woman. A lot of guys think that women just want to be with extremely overly good looking men that have lots of money and fancy cars, right? I want nothing to do with any of those women, even if they gave me the time of day. I don't want to be with a stereotypical type of woman. All right. Give me a second. I'm passing on by a group of people here. This is the view that I see. And there's the playground on the other side there. Now, at some point, I think I'm going to wait till COVID restrictions are lifted, which might not be till the end of the year or so after everyone's vaccinated. And then I'm going to go into the magical bridge playground and I'm going to broadcast live from there, especially when they do a concert or something. Now, I don't know how that would affect the content ID system. I think groups that do covers are not going to trigger the content ID system, but I wouldn't even care if I had to demonetize that stream. I want to show you folks. I want to show you folks what's happening in there. It's just really, really cool. This is an amazing playground. I mean, this is like the most amazing freaking playground I've ever seen. I mean, probably cost millions to make. Let me see. Nunez says, I started working young. My first job was at a Woolworths at the lunch counter in the 60s. It was fun. So you're a little bit older than me. I was born in 73. If you're working in the 60s, you must be at least 25 years older than me. So Nuna, you must be like in your 60s or maybe early 70s. If you started working at Woolworths in the 60s, maybe the late 60s, maybe you were 16, at least 15 years older. So you're probably like in your 60s, maybe 65. No big deal. You have a lot of energy, it seems like, and that's good. That's all that matters. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I'm far from stable. I'm 33 years old and in the process of building, so the dating scene can wait. However, when the opportunity presents itself, I still take a chance. You have to, bro. Take all the chance. That's respectful, dude. One Night Man, furthermore, says to get to know a person and see where we go from there. Right. By the time I hit the sweet spot in my age, 35 to 45, I'll have a pretty well-built foundation. I'm 68, but I'm very smart. Cool. That's great. That's awesome. Awesome, Nunya. Fantastic. You're very smart. Age has nothing to do with anything, right? It's just a number. You have a lot of energy, it seems like, and that's great. So, yeah, to One Night Man. Yeah, I'll tell you, dude, you're 33. When I was 33, when I was in my early 30s, dude, I just started to figure out how to be a real man. I mean, you think you're a real man in your 20s, and your 20s you learn, right? Now, you have to also understand that back in my 20s, there was no YouTube. There wasn't the amount of free information that guys like you can now come out here on YouTube and learn from us old fucks, right? Right? Well, I'm just a little bit older. I'm 47, right? So nowadays, guys are learning this stuff younger, and so are women, right? But I didn't really start to understand what it meant to be a real true man or alpha male until my mid-30s. And even more so in my early 40s, bro. I really, when I got into my early 40s, is when I really started to really understand what my value as a man is, right? You may be on the same path, and there's no problem with that. So you're working on building yourself, you're not you're not going way out of your way to find a woman, but if one comes your way, dude, yeah, you're not going to turn it down, right? No, no, nobody would, right? But you're building your wealth. By the time you get to your early 40s, dude, you're going to be in a very, very good position, right? Another thing, keep yourself fit as possible. Take care of yourself. You start getting a little gray, do what I do if you want. Use some Just for Men. A lot of men dye their beards. Women color their hair. You dye your beard. Look good, dude. So you get to 40, you stay in shape. You cover up the gray, like women cover up their gray with bleaching their hair and stuff, right? Just give me a second. And then you're going to be attracting women anywhere from 5 to 10 years younger than you, sometimes younger, right? The women that I've dated have typically been about 5 to 7 or 8 years younger than me. Now, I've gone on dates with older women, but it's never ever, well, one time it did, sorry. One time I was dating a woman in my younger days. She was 5 years older than me, but it very rarely works. Oh, sorry, excuse me. I'm trying to avoid people. There's a car coming, guy unpacking his car, the rest of his family's on the other side. No clear path. I was going to go on the street, and the car was coming, and it was going around on the other side to try to not hit me. It's not an easy job, folks, doing this, right? I put myself in the line of danger for you folks, right? One night stand, you're welcome. Oh, you mean one night man, right? I think that's a typo, Nuna. I will catch up with everyone later. Got a lot to get done for tomorrow. Mutt, thanks for stopping by. One night. You keep calling them one night stand. That's funny, Nuna. You're very right. You got your priorities together. My hair is purple. I dyed it LMAO. Well, that's what women do. I dye my beard. I don't have a whole lot of gray, but I use Just for Men. You think at 47 my beard would look this good naturally? Come on. Who are you kidding, right? See, you can take care of yourself in this way, right? And when you use Just for Men, like I said before, not only does it look good, it softens up your beard so when you're making out with your woman, it doesn't scratch your face like an abrasive sponge, right? Like the backside of an abrasive sponge, right? Oh, yeah. So anyway. All right, folks, get your questions in. I'm going off the air in just a few minutes here. Right when I get to the end of this driveway where my car is parked. Speed limit 15. And they have these bumps here. People fly in this lot like at 40 miles an hour, and you can hear them like fly over these bumps. It's crazy. People have no patience. What they don't realize is doubling the speed limit is not going to really save you much time when you're only going like a few hundred feet. Why risk killing somebody, right? If it takes you 2 seconds longer to get there. People have no patience nowadays. None. Zero, zilch, zip. All right, folks, I'm going to get on out of here. Let me just check out the chat one more time. I'll be back later tonight for another stream from the studio. Ooh, Typo, damn phone is acting stupid. LOL, all good. It's kind of a take on the saying. That's true. Something creative says One Night Man. Life is great. I took great value from your show, Coach. Will you be back again tonight? Yes, I will be. Mentioned that earlier. I'll say it again here in a second. Good stream, Coach. Much respect for you. Thank you, Nuna. Appreciate it. People are in a hurry. It says Queen Helen Casey, and great stream, says Arnie. I'll be back tonight, folks, sometime around 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific for another stream. And we're going to talk about love like you've never been hurt and unrealistic expectations in 2021. It's going to be a great show. I'm also going to be sharing a video on my community wall later on tonight, probably before the show or maybe during the show or after the show, regarding a video I mentioned at the beginning of this stream where a guy went on the street somewhere in the U.S. and interviewed men and women on unrealistic expectations due to social media, smartphones, etc. It's going to be a great stream. I've already created the stream, but I put it to private. It's all set, but it's on private. When I figure out the exact time, depending on what else I have to deal with tonight, I'll put it public. It may be shortly before 10:30 Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, or shortly after 10:30 Eastern or 7:30 Pacific. But that's the rough time. I will be back. Keep it locked here on the Agrippa on Life channel. Thank you to everyone for being here. Great show, brothers. Says One Night Man. Thank you. Nuna says bye One Night Stand, LMAO. One Night Man, a.k.a. One Night Stand, whatever. Nuna, have a good evening. All right, folks, take care. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye. We're out. Peace out.